In tonight's Fact or Fiction, we're looking into a picture going around online this month. It claims to show a screenshot of a 2002 episode of The Simpsons that eerily mirrors real-life events. It shows Donald Trump touching a glowing orb with two Middle Eastern-looking men. Well, last month, President Trump did just that with the King of Saudi Arabia and the President of Egypt. So, did The Simpsons really predict the future?
During its 30 successful years, fans have learned to dismiss The Simpsons show as a mere cartoon for kids. But in more than 600 episodes, the multi-award-winning cartoon has strangely predicted the future with unsettling precision. From the death of Kobe Bryant to Donald Trump's shocking presidency.
And it seems The Simpsons just can't wait for next season to deal with Donald Trump.
The show's writers have created scenes in the show that spookily go on to mirror real-life events, and they don't seem to be done. What could be next?
You know, we saved your ass in World War II.
Yeah, well, we saved your ass in World War III.
That's true.
Join us as we uncover The Simpsons predictions for 2025 that will blow your mind. To Apocalypse and World War III. People have been trying to foretell the future for as long as we've been on Earth. But perhaps they've been looking in the wrong places. If anyone or entity is going to predict the future correctly, it's likely going to be that The Simpsons.
Wake up, everybody! It's World War III!
Over the years, The Simpsons has made numerous predictions that have weirdly come true, from election outcomes to technological advancements. These predictions have become the topic of countless discussions, with some people convinced that the show's writers can foresee the future. Whether it's the invention of smartwatches, the discovery of the Higgs boson particle, or even political events, The Simpsons somehow addresses topics that later become reality. So let's look into the predictive world of Springfield and see what the future might hold according to The Simpsons. The first prediction on our list is one that has been overlooked so much that it most likely won't be actually taken seriously, and it is none other than the apocalypse. In a classic episode of The Simpsons, Marge ambitiously decides to give the kids haircuts at home, which predictably goes horribly wrong. To fix the disaster, Homer takes the kids to a new barbershop at the mall, but in typical Springfield fashion, chaos ensues. The haircuts are so cringe-worthy that the kids hide out in a movie theater, parodying the film Left Behind. Homer, convinced that the end of the world is near, starts predicting the rapture, throwing around ominous phrases like "stars falling from the sky" and "the end is near." Here, Homer's predictions seem absurd until a blimp accident at the Krusty Celebrity Salute causes actual stars to fall, sending Springfield into a frenzy. Everyone gathers at the Springfield Mesa, bracing for the apocalypse, but nothing happens. Homer, now an outcast, realizes he miscalculated and returns to the Mesa alone, only to find himself ascending into heaven, naked.
Where's Homer and Bart?
Wow, up here, that feels good!
There, he pleads with God to save his family. After some divine negotiation and a tantrum, God agrees to turn back time and undo the rapture mess. Homer wakes up on the Mesa, reunited with his family, and even Moe's Tavern magically reverts to its original form. It's The Simpsons' version of a cosmic reset, apocalypse averted. This episode is a complete mockery of what the Holy Bible that actually says concerning the end time and the rapture. Doesn't this rapture and time-traveling shenanigans sound like a potential 2025 prediction? Regardless, it is yet another way The Simpsons intends to keep us on our toes by blending humor with eerily accurate foresight. But that's just the beginning. Our next stop in The Simpsons predictions takes us into the spooktacular realm of Treehouse of Horror XX. This 2009 episode might just be dropping hints about a different type of apocalypse, one that could be deemed exciting by most people: zombie apocalypse. Any true fan of the show knows the Treehouse of Horror episodes always serve up a trio of terrifying tales, and don't have a cow. Mankind is no exception. In this segment, Springfield finds itself in the midst of a zombie outbreak, and you can bet The Simpsons bring their trademark humor to this apocalyptic scenario. And just as expected, it all starts innocently enough before spiraling into total chaos. At the beginning, Krusty the Clown introduces a new Krusty Burger.
Oh, I don't know how to make anything fancy.
Make something homey style.
Hey! Ooh, cheese, beef, More cheese, bacon, 3 more strips.
Dubbed the Burger 2, but here's the twist. The burgers are made from cattle that have eaten other cattle, cannibalism at its finest. To everyone's horror, Kent Brockman takes a bite on live TV and turns into a red-eyed, crazed muncher, setting off a chain reaction of zombification throughout Springfield. Fast forward 28 days, and Springfield has turned into Zombieland. Enter our hero, or rather our immune hero, Bart. Bart turns out to be immune to the zombie effect after chomping down on one of those tainted burgers. Dr. Hibbert, besieged in a zombie-infested world, advises the Simpsons to get Bart to a supposedly safe zone in Shelbyville. Now, this isn't your typical zombie apocalypse scenario, but it keeps getting interesting regardless. Apu, the ever-resourceful Quick E-Mart owner, turns out to be the ultimate zombie slayer. Why? Well, he's a vegetarian and didn't touch those contaminated burgers. Plus, he's packing some serious heat convenience store style. As the Simpsons attempt to escape Springfield, chaos happens. Apu sacrifices himself, or so it seems, and the Simpsons eventually reach the safe zone, but much to everyone's surprise, the people over there think Bart being immune makes him the chosen one. As if things couldn't get more weird, they believe munching on Bart will save them from the zombie virus. It's a bizarre twist even by Simpson standards, but fear not. The Simpsons, ever the problem solvers, quickly come up with an excellent solution, vaccinating the remaining population by having Bart contaminate their food before they munch down. It's absurd, it's hilarious, and it's quintessential Simpsons. But it pushes us to wonder, could a zombie apocalypse be lurking in the shadows of 2025? The Simpsons seem to be dropping hints in the most delightfully weird way possible, and there's still so much to uncover. Moving past that bizarre episode, let's shift our gaze to another Simpsons gem that might just be tapping into the cosmic frequencies of 2025, World War III. This prediction stems from a classic Simpsons short that first aired back in 1987 on the Tracy Ullman Show. In this episode, Homer, our lovable family man, wakes up the entire household, declaring that it's World War III and the bombs are dropping. The family, half asleep and annoyed, rushes into their homemade bomb shelter in record time, 18 seconds to be exact. But here's the catch. It's all just Homer's drills, and he's the only one taking them seriously. Homer repeats this routine multiple times, waking up his family with the imminent threat of World War III, only for it to be another false alarm. The family's patience wears thin as they humor Homer's paranoia, acting along reluctantly. But the real kicker comes when Bart, our mischievous troublemaker, decides to turn the tables. Bart wakes up Homer with a fake announcement claiming it's the end of the world. In a genius move, the family locks Homer in the fallout shelter, deciding to let him cool off until morning. This scenario humorously explores the theme of war and the absurdity of constant preparedness. Homer's over-the-top reactions and the family's nonchalant response are a hilarious take on the fear and uncertainty that often surround the idea of war. Fast forward to today, and we can't help but wonder, could The Simpsons be onto something with this recurring theme of war drills and false alarms? Is there a subtle commentary on the global tensions we might be facing in the near future? The Simpsons has a knack for making us laugh while nudging us to think, and it makes us wonder if it is yet another prediction we should look out for. Keep watching, because this next part is sure to keep you glued to your screens. More Simpsons predictions expected to happen in 2025. Some people claim the episode featuring mind control through music was one of the scariest they have ever seen, and it indeed gives you shivers. The episode in question is New Kids on the Block from 2001, featuring a plot that shows Bart, Milhouse, Nelson, and Ralph becoming members of a boy band named Party Posse. But here is the real case. The band is actually a psyop scheme by the US Navy to bombard children with subliminal messages. Their hit song, Drop the Bomb, features the chorus, Ivan et Nioj, which is, of course, Join the Navy, spelled backwards. The entry may be making its way into the Simpsons prediction that will most likely come true sooner rather than later. Just like mind-controlling music, AI robots' takeover is yet another Simpsons prediction they believe would happen in the near future, and felt a need to put the warning out. Looking back at 2012, The Simpsons predicted mass automation, and this is what ensued. The robots took over the jobs of many humans. Although a robot revolution was discussed long before that, in a 1994 episode of the Itchy and Scratchy Land, the whole family decided to visit a theme park staffed by robots. These robots went off the rails and killed everyone, hinting at yet another event that might just happen. The Simpsons managed to both predict the very existence of Westworld and the upheaval of robots simultaneously. Westworld already exists and carries the idea of a theme park full of almost sentient robots who decide to go against their human equivalents. But the father of artificial intelligence, Jürgen Schmidhuber, believes that AI superintelligence will trigger runaway technological growth and severe changes to civilization in the next 30 years. Simpsons, on the other hand, believe it will happen way sooner than that, and Meat Year seems to be their bet. As we are getting to find out, 2025 might just be the year where most Simpsons predictions would come to pass. With this in mind, it is only right that we visit another topic on Fox's cartoon show's possible future happenings: the rise of holograms. On another look into the future, a loafer Bart receives a hologram message hiring his band for a club gig. Here's where things get very interesting. In Bart to the Future, the skater kid himself gets a glimpse into his life down the line. While not the prettiest, it features a mailman stopping by his house to give him a virtual letter in the form of a hologram. The booking is signed off with "Smell you later," which replaces the customary "goodbye." Creating a link between this episode and reality, it would surprise you to know that HD3 holograms are already available for use in stores and installed in more than over 500 Best Buy locations. Technology is constantly advancing, especially when it comes to the way we communicate, but we should wait and see if these could become normal in reality. Although the use of holograms as a means of communication doesn't appear as bad as AI robots taking over the planet, it might turn out to be entirely different from what was depicted on The Simpsons show. Regardless, it is another thing The Simpsons wants us to look out for in 2025. Still on the topic of The Simpsons predictions, the Simpsons movie from 2007 was known to have talked about numerous pretty strange things, many of which could be predictions of future events. But one thing in particular that stands out has to be the large-scale environmental disaster, which is believed to most likely occur as of 2025. The Simpson movie's central theme is about a massive environmental disaster that most definitely could happen, but it fixes it in a genuinely implausible way. In the movie, Homer dumps pig feces in the already dangerously polluted Springfield Lake. This leads to an environmental crisis that forces the country to quarantine Springfield by placing a giant bubble over the town. Although the bubble is a bit outrageous and would probably never happen, the part about the environmental disaster might just be a serious warning to us in the future. By now, those of us who aren't brainwashed are aware of the global warming and the gravity of the issue caused by humans. Companies are becoming more and more careless in the way they do business, which has a major effect on our lives and our environment. The environment is rapidly declining, and the weather change going on across the globe might just be all we need to feel The Simpsons is yet again on track. Pandemic and Murder Hornets combination fans have been buzzing about a 1993 episode of The Simpsons titled Marge in Chains, claiming it predicted both COVID-19 and the arrival of murder hornets in the United States 27 years in advance.
Dubbed the Murder Hornet for its powerful sting and the way it decapitates its prey, this is the first time the world's largest hornet has been seen in the U.S.
In this episode, the flu spreads from Japan to Springfield via a juice looseners package after a factory worker sneezes into it. When Springfield residents open the packages, they release the germs and fall sick. The illness, called the Osaka flu, quickly spreads.
The dreaded Osaka flu has hit Springfield with over 300 cases now reported.
In a chaotic scene outside a hospital, desperate citizens knock over a truck containing crates labeled "Killer Bees." But that's not all. The bees escape and cause further havoc. Adding to the show's predictive reputation, another episode gained attention when Tom Hanks announced in mid-March that he and his wife, Rita Wilson, had COVID-19.
Oscar-winning actor Tom Hanks and his wife Rita Wilson have tested positive for coronavirus. In an Instagram post, Hanks says they were in Australia and started feeling sick when they got tested.
In the Simpsons movie from 2007, Hanks delivers the line. This is Tom Hanks saying, "If you see me in person, please leave me be." Bill Oakley, who co-wrote Marge in Chains, downplayed the episode's parallels with the COVID-19 pandemic, telling The Hollywood Reporter that it was a cartoonish joke inspired by a flu outbreak in Hong Kong, 1968. It's mainly just coincidence because the episodes are so old that history repeats itself, he explained. Most of these episodes are based on things that happened in the 1960s, 1970s, or 1980s that we knew about. Initially reluctant to acknowledge The Simpsons as a predictor of future events, Oakley seems to have come around. He recently conceded to a fan on Twitter, "Okay, fine, I guess we did." Disney buying 20th Century Fox.
It's a massive deal that reshapes the entertainment biz, so Disney is buying a big chunk of Fox.
For $52 billion, Francis, so it's definitely a massive deal here.
The Simpsons strikes again with an eerie glimpse into the future. In the 1998 episode, When You Dish Upon a Star, Homer becomes the personal assistant to Alec Baldwin and Kim Basinger, who are hiding out in Springfield to escape fame. His antics, including pitching a ludicrous screenplay about a time-traveling killer robot driving instructor and a talking pie, irritate their visitor, Ron Howard. Homer's loose lips about Baldwin and Basinger's whereabouts lead to his dismissal. In retaliation, he creates a mobile museum of their personal belongings. After a high-speed chase that leaves Howard injured, Homer is banned from interacting with celebrities. A month later, Howard is seen pitching Homer's script at 20th Century Fox, humorously depicted as a division of Walt Disney Company, on a massive sign out front.
So doesn't it also mean now that Disney owns The Simpsons?
It does.
I kind of remember that The Simpsons predicted this just a couple years ago.
Take a look at this. This was back in 1998. They had a sign that read 20th Century Fox, a division of Walt Disney. That was in 1998.
This isn't the only nod to Disney in The Simpsons. Mickey Mouse and Goofy rough up Homer in one instance, and another episode features a Disney-themed couch gag. Following the announcement of the Disney-Fox merger, executive producer James L. Brooks humorously sent a greeting from Homer and Bart to Mickey Mouse, Donald Trump presidency. On November 15, 2022, Donald Trump made a significant announcement. He would again be running for president in the 2024 election. This declaration stirred up various reactions, including one that returned to an eerie prediction made by The Simpsons in 2015. In an episode where the Simpson family ventures into the future, a scene features Homer Simpson floating by a sign that reads, "Trump 2024. This episode aired long before Trump's actual presidency, adding a layer of intrigue to the show's history of foreseeing real-world events. The Simpsons had already demonstrated its clairvoyant tendencies, particularly in its portrayal of Trump's presidency. In a previous episode, the show depicted Trump leaving behind a dire financial situation, leading to a widespread budget crisis.
16 years ago, The Simpsons eerily predicted Donald Trump would be president.
As you know, we've inherited quite a budget crunch from President Trump.
This portrayal mirrored real-life concerns about the economic impact of Trump's time in office, adding weight to the show's ability to anticipate future scenarios. Siegfried and Roy Tiger attack.
Siegfried and Roy are attacked by tigers, Season 5, Episode 10.
For those unfamiliar with the pre-millennium entertainment scene, Siegfried and Roy were a legendary duo who amazed audiences with their extravagant illusions and majestic tigers. They were a staple in Vegas for decades, a symbol of Sin City glitz. Remember that time The Simpsons made fun of them? In a 1993 episode, Springfield joins the gambling game with a new casino headlined by the flamboyant tiger-taming duo Gunter and Ernst. But their act takes a hilarious turn when their white tiger decides the spotlight belongs to someone else. Them. Well, get this. 10 years later, life imitated art in an unsettling way. During a performance at the Mirage, Roy was attacked by a tiger named Manticore. The big cat went from playful to predatory, latching onto Roy's sleeve and inflicting a severe bite that severed his spine. The reasons behind the attack remain unknown. Roy's partner blamed the trainers, while whispers went around about a cover-up by the hotel to protect their image. Whatever the cause, this incident in 2003 spelt the end for the iconic Siegfried and Roy show, which had captivated audiences for nearly 40 years. I Take Over one episode of The Simpsons paints a picture of a future where Mr. Burns, ever the cost cutter, replaces human workers at the Springfield nuclear power plant with robots. This highlights a genuine concern: AI's potential to automate jobs on a massive scale. The episode even hints at a 99% unemployment rate, raising a conversation about the social and economic implications of widespread job displacement by AI.
In a world where technology is advancing at an unprecedented pace, it seems the fear of AI taking over human jobs is at an all-time high. 82% of working professionals think that they might lose their job to AI.
But The Simpsons takes it a step further. In 1989, an episode showed the possibility of hyper-realistic AI with a scary side. Imagine creating robot replicas of teachers and scientists so advanced they can even get student loans. While this might seem like harmless fun in the cartoon world, it raises questions about AI's potential to become sophisticated enough to manipulate systems for its own gain. It also taps into our fear of AI encroaching upon uniquely human roles like teaching. Looking at the world of law enforcement, The Simpsons envisioned a future where robots handle police calls. While the episode portrays Brenda as calm, it opens the door to discussing AI in law enforcement. Should robots be patrolling our streets? The Simpsons allow us to consider the implications and potential for unforeseen consequences. The show also explores the idea of robots as companions. In one episode, a character creates a robotic version of his ex-wife, Marge. While companionship is a positive quality, the episode cleverly portrays these robotic companions lacking genuine emotions or kindness. The Shard in London. The Simpsons, notorious for their predictions, might have done it again. Many shows bring their characters to iconic locations, and London is no stranger to these cameos. One Trip by Lisa Simpson, however, holds a curious detail. A flash forward in the 1995 episode shows Lisa on a school trip to London, meeting a fellow student named Hugh Parkfield. Eagle-eyed fans spotted something interesting in the background: a skyscraper peeking over Tower Bridge. This building looks familiar to those acquainted with the real-life Shard, a landmark not built until 2009. Is this an accurate prediction, or just a random building in the background? We may never know for sure. The animators might not have intended such a specific detail. But for fans, it's a fun detail that adds another layer of intrigue to The Simpsons' ability to see into the future. World War II. Remember November 1987? The Simpsons were still fresh, barely in their second season. That's when they unleashed World War II, an episode that even today remains one of their most eerie. The episode plays out as dark satire. In a frenzy, Homer wakes the family with news of World War II erupting. Thankfully, within 18 seconds, everyone's safe in the bomb shelter.
Wake up, everybody! It's World War III! Ah! Quick, down to the fallout shelter. The bombs are dropping!
But then the truth hits. It was a false alarm, a cruel joke by Homer. You won't believe what happened next. Could this have been a glimpse into the future? Like other Simpsons predictions, some find it unsettling. Let's rest back on the fear factor. We all need a laugh now. World War China might sound like a future headline, but thankfully it hasn't happened yet. However, the reality is possible. According to Wikipedia, 5 major wars rage on today, from Myanmar's internal conflict to the ongoing battles in Ukraine and Sudan. Then there are the more minor but no less devastating conflicts. Colombia's violence continues, Somalia's civil war takes lives, communal clashes erupt in Nigeria, and Mexico's drug war leaves a pool of bloodshed. Experts argue that considering these numbers, the world is already at war. And with tensions between major powers like the US, Russia, China, and North Korea growing, are we standing on the edge of something more significant? World War II might have been a dark joke in 1987, but in today's world, it's a reminder of the fragile peace we live in. Is this the path to a full-blown world war, or just a conspiracy theory that went out of control? Colonizing Mars. In Season 27's The Margian Chronicles, Episode 16, The Simpsons win a spot on a pioneering program, a one-way trip to Mars. This would mark humanity's first Martian residency, a giant leap for humanity. The dream of becoming Mars pioneers takes a big turn for The Simpsons. After a tedious week surviving in a claustrophobic Martian habitat, they learn the shocking truth. It was all a big, elaborate lie. The shiny rocket they trained in? It's just a fancy facade never intended for actual space travel. But hold on. Despite the fake rocket, the ever-resourceful Marge and Lisa eventually reach Mars. The episode cleverly hints that their Martian adventure might become a reality, but not until 2051. Fast forward to real life, and Elon Musk, the visionary SpaceX CEO, has Mars firmly in his sights. His ambition to colonize the red planet and make it humanity's second home is no secret. Here's where things get interesting. In 2020, Musk announced plans to launch the first admittedly crewed mission to Mars by 2026. The Simpsons might have been a few decades off. Who knew time travel wasn't part of the package? But the core idea, a human mission to Mars, aligns perfectly with Musk's vision. While the 2026 target wasn't entirely met, Musk recently revealed that the dream could become reality within 3-4 years. Just try to think about booking a flight to Mars. The possibilities are mind-blowing. Colonizing another planet could be humanity's most monumental achievement. Perhaps by 2051, as The Simpsons predicted, Martian cities will spread across the red landscape. And on that glorious day, the writers can finally declare, with a triumphant point, "We told you so." Flying cars. Do you remember those flying cars from The Simpsons? Well, move over because an honest company called Samson Sky is making headlines with its Switchblade, the world's first flying sports car.
First announced, the Samson Sky Switchblade is officially off the ground. This street-legal three-wheeler converts to a 200 miles per hour airplane at the touch of a button.
Hold on a second, though. This isn't quite the Jetsons-style hovercraft we might have envisioned. It's more like a car with seriously cool retractable wings. This means it doubles as a plane, but not the kind that defies gravity. The promo video shows a sleek, Batmobile-like car transforming into a miniature aircraft, which is pretty impressive, but it raises a lot of questions. Will you need a pilot's license to take this bad boy car for a ride? How will we manage air traffic with these flying cars weaving in and out? Regulations are a whole other story. And let's be honest, widespread flying cars probably won't happen in 2024. Still, the existence of the Switchblade is exciting. It's a glimpse into a future where our vehicles might have a whole new dimension. The Simpsons might have gotten the flying car concept rolling decades ago, but companies like Samson Sky are taking it from cartoon to potential reality. The future of transportation might involve taking flight, but there are plenty of issues to iron out before it takes off for everyone. The female president. Is the United States prepared to elect a female president?
For a very brief period today, the nation had its first female president. Kamala Harris assumed the reins of power while President Biden was undergoing a colonoscopy.
The question arises as we consider the nation's readiness to place a woman in its highest office. Historically, women have demonstrated exceptional leadership in politics. Yet the male-dominated political arena has limited the number of women ascending to the corridors of power leading to the White House. Despite this, popular culture often sidesteps the complexities of political discourse. For instance, in the Simpsons episode Bart to the Future, Lisa Simpson becomes the first female president of the United States. In this storyline, she inherits a financially troubled nation due to the mismanagement of her predecessor, President Trump, and introduces a tax increase to stabilize the economy. With the 2024 elections on the horizon, some speculate whether The Simpsons might again foreshadow actual political events. Many believe the show's prediction partially came true with Kamala Harris serving as the first female vice president. But the question remains, are we on the verge of seeing a woman take the Oval Office? Only time will tell. Baby translator. In the 1992 episode Brother, Can You Spare 2 Dimes of The Simpsons, Homer's half-brother Herb creates a baby translator machine. Although this seemed improbable, recent technological advances have made this concept a reality.
A startup called Sounddream created a device that can translate baby cries. The technology uses artificial intelligence and sound recognition to analyze and translate baby language.
A Swiss company called Sounddream introduced the Baby T, a device that converts baby sounds into words.
But now there are several smartphone apps that claim that they can decode your baby's cry for you,
allowing parents to determine if their baby is tired, hungry, or needs a diaper change. This innovation means that you can finally understand what your baby truly needs this year. But did The Simpsons foresee this invention? Or was it just a fortunate coincidence? Kamala Harris outfit. Vice President Kamala Harris earned significant praise for her fashion at the inauguration on Wednesday. But did The Simpsons foresee her attire once more? During her historic swearing-in as the first female vice president and the first of Black and Indian American descent, Harris wore a purple dress and coat by the celebrated Black designer Christopher John Rogers, complemented by Sergio Hudson shoes. As noted by Women's Wear Daily,
well, this morning we're hearing from two fashion designers in Texas who created Vice President Kamala Harris's outfit for the inauguration.
Like going from a colonia in Heidelberg, Texas, like from the fields to the halls of the White House now.
Harris also sported a bespoke pearl necklace created by Puerto Rican designer Wilfredo Rosado. This necklace resembles the one worn by Lisa Simpson, the diligent student from Fox's enduring animated series. Furthermore, Harris's pearls honored her sorority, Alpha Kappa Alpha, whose members traditionally wear pearl-adorned badges. Virtual reality food. Forget about the Vision Pro, because virtual reality food is here, just as bizarre and potentially delicious as The Simpsons predicted in Season 11's virtual reality food. Marge's VR fudge adventure might seem like pure fantasy, where taste is formed according to her wildest desires. But companies like Aerobanquet's RMX are offering a similar reality, but a pricier one. Just think about dining amongst the stars. Your imagination is the only limit.
In a freezing cellar with fake snow underfoot, I'm inching across a crevasse on my way up the world's highest peak. I'm getting a demo of Everest, a virtual reality game due out later this year.
Aerobanquet's RMX, the brainchild of artist Mattia Calgo and culinary experts, offers bite-sized courses that transport you to entirely new worlds. Now here's where it gets interesting. Of course, it's early days. The experience is expensive and requires a dedicated waiter for each guest. However, experts believe VR dining could be commonplace as VR technology continues its explosive growth. Remember the days when Oculus headsets seemed like science fiction? Now they're practically household items. Will digital feasts be the norm by 2024? The future remains unwritten. But one thing's clear. The Simpsons saw it coming, and unlike that cyber fudge, this prediction might just taste like the future. Hologram technology is a runaway train, leaving most of us huffing and puffing to keep up. But the Simpsons? They're chilling in the first-class car, sipping Mai Tais of prescience. Remember Bart's peek into the future with Professor Frink's Duda? Well, get this. A holographic gig invitation for his band. Here's the fundamental idea. How'd the Simpsons nail the idea of holograms everywhere? Could 2024 be the year they're as common as your grandma's flip phone? Maybe that's a stretch, but you get the picture. We've got the dreamy HD3 hologram.
Today we have the awesome HD3 holographic display. The DreamHawk HD3 is a 3-sided holographic display system which lets you combine a physical product with 3D holographic animations.
A 3-sided portal showcasing 3D anything from anywhere. Just try to think about your long-distance friend teaching you the latest TikTok dance, projected right in your room. Mind blown. With The Simpsons predictions proving to be right for years in a row, will 2025 predictions break the streak and become an exception? Let us know what you think in the comments section. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also click on the next video on your screen. You will enjoy it.